Hello everyone, hey there, welcome to a new video. I hope that everything is going well and that you're having a great time. During this video, I want to talk about how I study languages and also about how I avoid losing motivation. So, um, some people contacted me and they really asked me like, hey, how are you studying languages? So I just thought like, okay, let's make a new recent video about it like in 2023. So which ways am I using right now? And what are ways in order to lose motivation, yeah, basically I have a lot of contact with people around the world, so it's also like really cool. I also want to thank everyone for that, there are a lot of people who are sending me DMs on Instagram, and they are from different countries, and sometimes they even start speaking a different language, or I mean, they are sending a text message in a different language. That's what I mean. And yeah, in some languages I can also write. So that's like, let's say, I speak 29 languages, all different levels, and in 18 languages I can write and read. So, and in those languages, I'm also able to respond to messages. And the cool thing is, like, with many of those people, I became friends. So I just want to thank those people again. And it's really cool to see how it becomes a part of my daily routine. It's like very natural because like I'm really interested, like in how people are doing, how their day is. So it feels really natural to reply my messages. I also want to say that I really appreciated how other people are motivating me with the kind words and everything. And so it's basically a part of my routine, and I definitely think that that's also like one of my ways how I'm able to keep up with the languages. I am creating language content, or at least videos about the topic languages, like combined with the topic entertainment, because my topic is about languages. So that also means that I reach people who are interested in languages, and that I also get connected to those people. And that's basically how it is, like, so it's almost the same like training, like, so for example, there are people who are training and for football games. There are people who are doing whatever, tennis or anything, like, once you found a routine which you can share with other people who are also interested in that same activity, it also means that you stay motivated. So I basically stay motivated because a lot of other people are also like ask me questions, and they're also giving me corrections. So when we are having contact, they are telling me which mistakes I make, and that's how I learn. So that's also like one of the important parts when I'm learning languages. It is important to write down the mistakes which you are making, and also to realize which words you don't know yet. All right. I think it's always good to have like a sort of like notebook or some blanket pieces of paper, so you can always write down words which you don't know yet. And I always try to just use those new words in new contexts by talking to people. And how do I avoid losing motivation? Well, I basically said it before already, because I'm like, because I've contact with other people who are interested in the same activity. If I lose motivation, I can talk to them. We can also talk about these struggles when we're learning languages, like what is so hard of a language. And it's also cool that when someone already studied one language, that also happens a lot. So I studied other languages than some other people, for example, that we are just talking about our experiences, like what was so hard and how can you basically learn from some others experiences, basically, which is helping a lot. And I also study languages because like by talking to strangers, a lot of people know that already from me. So they know like, okay, Wouter is talking to people on the streets. That's indeed something which I always like to do. So also in my free time, whatever I'm doing, going out or meeting with friends, like I always like it to meet strangers and talk to them. And that's something which is like very natural for me. So I'm just interested in people. I like to make new friends. And because it's so natural, I also I don't need to put so much effort in it. It doesn't really feel like studying. I'm learning, but it is like studying on a different way, like I don't study so much with books, or I do have some books and also some dictionaries. So sometimes I also try to have a look at those words. But the most important thing for me is to socialize, to communicate, and that's something which which is really helping me, because like Not sure if you know, but in the past I was very shy. I was actually a very shy person. But the language has helped me a lot to yeah, to get out of my comfort zone and to get to know other people, and that's like really cool. So then I also want to say that I have contact with like a lot of other polyglots, you know, who have like different methods, different ways of language learning, and I think it's definitely cool as well to talk to those people. That's what I did, you know. I talked to them. I asked them like, "Hey, how are you having this routine?" You know, they're really like some spectacular people like Richard Simcott. Probably you know him already. Like he appeared in one of my videos. Like he is one of the people who I know for the longest time. You know, like so since I started my channel, I already knew about his content, and he inspired me a lot. You know, he is so long there with his channel and you know with his work, and that's so cool. And yeah, like those people are just you know inspiring me. You know, like and that's amazing, and I'm very grateful with that. You know, I just want to thank people for having this kind of awesome content, and I also think it's important to realize that you need to start somewhere, you know. So sometimes I don't know where to start when I'm learning a language, and I'm thinking like, okay, what should I do? Just start, you know. That's also like important to just realize like, okay, at the beginning it might be out of your comfort zone. You might think like, okay, is it possible to do this? But at the same time, you could also think like, okay, no, let's just give it a try. If it's not working, you can change to another language, which is maybe working better for you. Um, and there are different factors where I'm looking at, you know, before I decide which language I choose. Like there are a couple of them, you know. First of all, I look like, am I interested in the language? Do I love the sound? For which purposes do I want to use the language, for example? And I'm also looking at, do I have friends who speak these languages? How do I want to learn it? Are there enough opportunities? And is it not temporarily? So sometimes you're learning a language in a certain period of your life, but then after a while, you're not using the language anymore, and then you can lose motivation. That's not what you want. So I think it's also important to look at these aspects, and maybe you could also look at the number of native speakers in your area, for example. So how many native speakers are there? So for example, just an example, there are many people who speak Surinamese in the Netherlands. So Surinamese is definitely on my list. I tried to learn it before, but somehow I don't know, I just lost motivation, and I need to get back to it again. And but Surinamese is still on my list. Papiamento as well, because like there are many people from the Antillen in the Netherlands here. Um, or many people from the Antillen in the Netherlands, that's what I mean. So I can practice with them. And there are a lot of, you know, I think it's just important to realize why you're learning the language, and that you're doing this for your own goals and not because other people want it, and that's how you can stay motivated. Okay, have a nice morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and keep learning languages. Bye bye, everyone.